Are you getting ready to watch the next new season of Rick and Morty, and you don't quite remember what happened in the previous episodes? Well, you are in the perfect place. We're on with Season 1, Episode 1. We're entering the series quite intensively from the very beginning. Rick shows us that he has everything and everyone for nothing. He bursts drunk into Morty's room and takes him on a trip. During the ride, he announces to his grandson that he's going to play God and detonate a neutron bomb. He claims that the world needs a reset and that Morty and his high school sweetheart are to be the new Adam and Eve. After a forced landing, Rick is knocked unconscious and the neutron bomb arms. After our heroes finish their meal, the first cosmic adventure awaits us. Rick and Morty go to another dimension to collect the seeds of Megatree. Unfortunately, nothing can go according to plan. The portal gun runs out of battery and Morty is forced to smuggle the seeds in his rectum through galactic customs. Meanwhile, Beth and Jerry argue over Rick's influence over their son. Episode 2. At Jerry's behest, Rick makes the Smith family's dog smarter. As you might expect, the idea was not entirely good because Snuffles beat its owners with intelligence. He built himself a mechatronic body, helped the rest of the dogs reach his intellectual level, and together with them took over humanity. Rick and Morty at the same time decided to get into the teacher's mind and get him to improve the latter's grade. Just like in Inception, our heroes go deep into dreams to get their way. After Rick and Morty return to the waking world, they manage to reconcile with the intelligent race of dogs, who decide to go to another dimension and colonize it. Episode 3. On Christmas Day, Rick sends his grandson into the body of his old homeless friend. There, Morty encounters Anatomy Park, parody of Jurassic Park, which is teeming with deadly diseases. Meanwhile, Jerry's parents are bringing a new family member for Christmas. Poor Jerry can't digest the news that his parents have decided to seek new experiences and live in a monogamous relationship in their old age. Episode 4. In this episode, Rick and Jerry are kidnapped and trapped in a virtual reality. The aliens want to know the recipe for concentrated dark matter. Of course, the attempt to trick Rick ends as usual, and instead of the coveted recipe, they get another. By following Rick's instructions, they received a strong, explosive mixture, thus ending their existence. Episode 5. Having experienced a traumatic experience on one of his adventures, Morty declares that he has had enough. It gets to the point where Rick lets him pick his next destination for the first time. The seemingly peaceful fairy tale adventure takes an unexpected turn. The analogy of the fairy tale of Johnny and the Beanstalk has a darker side. The giant from whom Rick and Morty were supposed to steal the treasure dies, and our heroes are accused of murder. After an intense court hearing, they arrive at the bar where Morty meets King Bean. Meanwhile, Beth, Summer, and Jerry use a box of Meeseeks, blue creatures brought into the world for one task. While Beth's and Summer's Meeseeks coped without any problems, the one helping Jerry got an almost impossible task. Working over Jerry's 2 golf shots, he went mad and started enlisting others to help him. Episode 6. Morty, wanting to take his crush, Jessica, to the flu season ball, asks his grandfather to create a love potion. Rick forgot to mention that during the flu, the potion can spread through droplets. By the time the ball was over, we had the whole world lost in love with Morty. Rick, trying to get everything back to normal, causes the infected to mutate into Cronenberg monsters. Ultimately, it was not possible to restore everyone to their original state, and our heroes are forced to escape to an alternate reality. Episode 7. At the space pawn shop, Rick buys Morty a sex robot. It turns out that it is not an ordinary toy, but a robot created for reproduction. After a while, a hybrid child is born and is named Morty Jr. Rick and Summer travel to the robot's home planet where they are trapped. It turns out that this planet is ruled by women who arrest Rick because of open misogyny. Morty, on the other hand, cannot cope with raising his son. Trying to fight his aggressive tendencies isolates Junior from the outside world. This results in a teenage alien rebellion. Episode 8. Embarrassed by the level of terrestrial television, Rick installs galactic cable. Thanks to this, the Smith family has access to all programs from different planets as well as from different alternate realities. Episode 9. A real devil in human skin appears in the city. He opens an antique shop where everything is free and hires Summer to help him. Every item in the devil's shop is cursed. Rick sets up a rival company that removes curses from objects, causing the devil to go bankrupt. Summer lifts her employer's spirits and helps him start a successful new business. Jerry, not agreeing to the decision to exclude Pluto from the group of planets, is transported to it, where he becomes the star of the local civilization. Episode 10. Our Rick is wrongly accused of a series of murders on Ricks from other dimensions and kidnapping their Mortys. Rick C-137 is on the run from the authorities and sets off with Morty to find the real killer. Unfortunately, our heroes fall into the trap of evil Rick, who wants to possess the genius of Rick C-137. Morty rises to the occasion and along with his alternate versions get out of the trap to free Rick. In the end, it turns out that this evil Rick was a remote-controlled android and someone else is behind the whole enterprise. In this episode, we meet evil Morty for the first time. Our mysterious antagonist at that moment goes to the Citadel of Ricks together with other Mortys, where he will be able to put his plan into practice. In this episode, we also learn that the Ricks use the Mortys for camouflage. Due to their above-average intelligence, their brains produce characteristic waves, and the best way to mask them is to have someone next to them with completely opposite waves. Jerry, on the other hand, befriends Doofus Rick. Episode 11. In the final episode of the first season, Jerry and Beth go to reenact the events of the Titanic. Beth doesn't want to take part in the fun, so she persuades Jerry to have this adventure with the cleaner named Lucy. Taking advantage of the absence of their parents, Summer and Rick organize a house party attended by Earth teenagers and beings from the farthest parts of the cosmos. The party gets out of control and the whole house is transported to another dimension. They manage to get back to their place before their parents, but cleaning the whole house in a few seconds borders on a miracle. Well, Rick wouldn't be himself if he didn't come up with something. With one of his inventions, he stops time on the entire planet, leaving only Summer and Morty with him.